Hello students, myself Om Prakash Katre and welcome to you Biology Reward. Today we are going to discuss Control and Coordination chapter of class 10, and Control and Coordination we are going to discuss about the structure of human brain. So it is very complicated structure, but in class 10 the description of the human brain is very simple in the NCERT book. So according to the NCERT book, the structure of human brain we are discussing. Students, control and coordination of our body is take place by the two systems. One system is a endocrine system, which is hormonal system, and another system is nervous system. So nervous system, a system made up of nerve fiber that conduct the information from one places to another places. In our body, the nervous systems we are dividing in three parts. Nervous system, first part is a CNS, stand for central nervous system. And this central nervous system is having two parts, brain and spinal cord. So brain and spinal cord, these are the two parts of our CNS system, central nervous system, and two parts in central nervous system. One part is the brain and another part is spinal cord. That we will discuss later. Another part of nervous system, first is the central nervous system, other is PNS. PNS stands for peripheral nervous system. In peripheral nervous system, two parts come. One part, nerve arises from the brain. So these nerves are called cranial nerve. And human being, there are the 12 pairs of the cranial nerve. So nerve arises from the brain. They are called cranial nerve, and cranial nerve is a part of peripheral nervous system, PNS system. Similarly, nerves arises from spinal cord. They are called spinal nerve. So these 12 pair and spinal nerves are 31 pairs. So in higher classes you have to study the number. Here you must understand, PNS system is what? A system in which nerve arises from brain, cranial nerve, and nerves arises from spinal cord, spinal nerve. So these two parts, cranial nerve and spinal nerve, these two parts are forming the PNS. By this cranial nerve and spinal nerve, the information from the brain to body part and spinal cord to body part is conveyed. So information from the brain to other body part and information from the spinal cord to other body part is sent. So it is function of PNS system. Third system, nervous system is ANS. ANS stands for autonomous nervous system. So ANS, autonomous nervous system, and this system is responsible for involuntary activities. There are two types of activity. One, which activity depend on our wills, they are called voluntary activities, and the involuntary activities, these do not depend on our will. So autonomous nervous system is control the involuntary activity of visceral organ. So internal organ activities are controlled by ANS. So our nervous system is having three major systems: CNS, central nervous system; PNS, peripheral nervous system; and ANS, autonomous nervous system. Now we are discussing the part of CNS, brain and spinal cord. So in spinal cord, already I have told you, spinal cord is responsible for reflex action. So reflex actions are controlled by the spinal cord. Reflex actions are also involuntary action. It is controlled by the spinal cord. The spinal cord is occur below the vertebral column. It means the vertebral column is protect the spinal cord. So now we are discussing detailed part of the brain. Our brain is a delicate part. Brain is a very delicate part. And this brain is the main controller of our body. So brain of our body, center of thinking. Brain is a delicate part of our body and it is a center of thinking. Whatever we think, that is controlled by the brain. Second, the brain is a main coordinating center of the body. Each and every activities of our body are regulated and controlled by the brain. So brain is a center of thinking and brain is a main coordinating center of the body. Now, as I told you, brain is a delicate part and this delicate part is a soft part. This soft part requires some protection. So, what are the different strategies, what are the different structure which help to protect our brain? So, brain is protected. So, the brain is protected by number one part, it is your skull. There are the corning scales structure, hard plate, and these hard plates are connected to each other and they help to protect the brain. So it is called the skull. So this one part, outside the part, which is the hard part made up of corneous plate and protect the brain, it is called the skull. This inside the skull, okay, inside the skull, the brain is situated or located. So the cavity where the bone is present, it is called the cranial cavity. And this cranial cavity is also commonly known as brain box. So simply you understand, skull is a protective covering of the brain and brain is protected in the brain box or cranial cavity. So this is first one thing, cranial cavity provide the protection, skull provide the protection. Second part is manic. Manic, it means some layer. You can see here, the skull is the outermost layer which protect the brain, and below the skull there are the layers. These are the layers. So there are three layers, outer layer, inner layer and middle layer. So first is outer layer, then middle layer and then inner layer. So these layers below the skull which protect the brain, they are called the manics. Again understand, manics are the layers which protect the brain, and outer one layer is called durameter. Outer one is called the durameter layer. Middle is called the arachnoids layer and inner one is called the pyramider layer. So first one, skull is the protective, and second there are this layer. These layers also provide protection to the brain. And third part is liquid which is present in the brain. So in brain there is a liquid which is called cerebrospinal fluid. What is the name of the liquid? Cerebrospinal fluid. This cerebrospinal fluid, in this fluid the brain floats. So it provides buoyancy to the brain. And if liquid is provide buoyancy to the brain, it means the brain is floating in the liquid, and thus this cerebrospinal fluid or this liquid present in the brain, it protects the brain from mechanical injuries or any kind of shocks. So if we are pushing to the brain hardly, so our brain will be protected because there is a cerebrospinal fluid. So cerebrospinal fluid is a liquid present in the brain and help to protect the brain from any kind of injuries and shocks. So these 3 marks question generally it is all how our brain is protected. So one should write the skull, another manage, and another is cerebrospinal fluid. Students, now the important part is structure of brain. So structure of brain, already skull, manage, and cerebrospinal fluid. Now our brain we are dividing for the study purpose in 3 parts. So we are discussing now part of the brain. Part of the brain. Human brain we are dividing into 3 parts: forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Again understand, forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So forebrain, it is the largest part of our brain. Here, how many parts are there in the forebrain? In the 10th class, whatever is prescribed, first, olfactory lobe. It is not visible here. Generally, what happens, if brain dorsal view is taken, so this type of diagram will come, dorsal view of the human brain. In the human brain, two lobes are here. These are not visible here actually. So this one is the part of cerebrum, brain part. So in forebrain, what to understand, this one part are this lobe of cerebrum, that is lobe of cerebrum hemisphere it is called. So there is no need to learn this one, but you remember there are 2 lobes in the cerebrum, and these 2 lobes, in this cerebrum there are such types of structure, and these structures are called the olfactory lobe. In this diagram these are not visible. So in forebrain, first part is olfactory lobe. Where they present? They present on the surface of the lobe of cerebrum. So olfactory lobe, it is responsible for the smelling. It regulates the smelling. It's responsible for the smell. Olfactory lobe. So first forebrain, first part is olfactory lobe. Other important part is cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of our brain. It is the largest part of our brain, and this is the center for hearing, smell, vision, locomotion, memory, intelligence. All these centers are, it means these are centers of our voluntary action. So associated center of voluntary action are situated in the cerebrum. So cerebrum is the main part of our brain, and this cerebrum is an associated center for the hearing, smell, vision, locomotion, and memory. So here you can see all this part is your largest part of the brain, and it is called the cerebrum. Sometimes cerebrum we are saying it is the center of thinking, it is the center of memory, it is the center of the hearing, it is the center located of vision. Here is a center for the locomotion of muscles and memory also. So it is very important part. What are the function of cerebrum? So cerebrum is a center for hearing, smell, vision, locomotion, and memory. Another part in a forebrain is a hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, this you will see, this is the cerebrum, then this one part is integrated. It is called the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a part of forebrain, and what is the function? Control involuntary function. It controls the involuntary function. Cerebrum was controlling the voluntary function, and here it is control the involuntary function. So it is a center for hunger, thirst, and sweating. Sometimes we feel hungry, sometimes we feel thirsty, and the center is hypothalamus. So what is the function of hypothalamus? It controls the hunger, thirst, and sweating. So these 2 parts we have to discuss in class 10. One more part is there, diencephalon. We are not discussing. We will study in the higher classes. Another, midbrain. So after the forebrain, and this is the last hindbrain. So between the midbrain forebrain and hindbrain. So whatever part is present, that is called the midbrain. Midbrain also, the two important parts are there. So midbrain is what? It is the brain part which is between forebrain and hindbrain, and it controls the movement of head, eyes and trunk. So involuntary action of the movement of head, movement of eyes, movement of the trunk part is regulated by the midbrain. It means midbrain is responsible for involuntary action. Another and third part of the brain is very important part for 10th class, hindbrain. Here three parts are there. First one part is cerebellum. This one you will see. This part is called the cerebellum. This one part is the cerebellum. So this cerebellum is the second largest part of the brain. First largest part was the cerebellum is the largest part, and second largest part of the brain is cerebellum. This cerebellum maintains posture and balance of the body. So once we stand erect, our balance is in our body. If this balance is maintained by the cerebellum. If you are taking the round continuously, so what happens? Our body become unbalanced. So this balancing of a body and maintain the postures of the body, this is the main function of cerebellum. So cerebellum is maintaining the posture and balance of the body. So maintaining the posture and balance of the body, these are the functions of the cerebellum. It also helps us coordinate voluntary action movement. Walking, cycling, riding, lifting. So this type of voluntary actions or movement are also controlled by the cerebellum. So maintain the posture and balance of the body and coordinate the voluntary movement like walking, cycling and riding. Students, another part of the hindbrain is pons. Full name is pons viruli. So this pons regulate the breathing, as well as it have to coordinate it between the muscles of both sides. So both side muscles get coordinated and it regulates the breathing. This is the function of pons. Now other part is medulla oblongata. In medulla oblongata, here you will see this is the part cerebellum. Second part is pons. This one part is called the pons part and it regulates the breathing. Then this one, another part is called the medulla. It is the part of hindbrain. Medulla oblongata, or simply we are saying medulla. What is the function? It controls involuntary action. It is also related with the involuntary action. Blood pressure, regulation of blood pressure, salivation, saliva secretion, vomiting, heartbeat regulation. So these are the function of medulla. So medulla control involuntary action like the blood pressure, saliva and vomiting and heartbeat, etc. So this is mentioned. Another part, this spinal cord, as I told you, this one part is the spinal cord. So in this brain also, there one gland is present. That is very important. And gland is pituitary gland. It is also known as the master gland. So overall is what? In this topic, human brain. Human brain is a part of CNS system. Brain and spinal cord are the two parts. Our brain is protected by the skull, then meninx and cerebrospinal fluid. There are three important parts in our brain: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. In forebrain, olfactory lobes responsible for smell. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain, where center of hearing, smell, vision, movement, locomotion, memory, intelligence, judgment, they are located. Hypothalamus is a center for hunger, thirst and sweating. Then midbrain is only involved in involuntary action, and hindbrain, cerebellum, maintain the posture and balance of the body, then coordinate involuntary movement. Pons regulate the breathing, and medulla oblongata is controlling the involuntary action. Involuntary action are controlled blood pressure, salivation, vomiting, and heartbeat, etc. So it is at all about the human brain. Thank you.